still a very active scene right now. We want to show it to you. This is on Fabens Road, and it is this building where the state finance company is, along with Potbelly's Pizza, and then a flower shop. You can see that firefighters are still inside at this point, trying to get out every last hot spot in here, and there's still a lot of smoke, white smoke, coming from the building. This fire is now into its 4th hour of being fought, and there are a lot of firefighters here. We're being told that there are firefighters from Fabens Fire Department along with the San Elizario Fire Department. Remember, these are the same guys that fought the blaze yesterday out in Montana Vista, so fatigue is definitely a factor. We mentioned the white smoke a moment ago. There were evacuations as a result of this blaze. You can see the homes that are just across the street from where this fire took place. We know that 15 people were evacuated according to dispatchers. Another thing to note here that just arrived on the scene a few moments ago, American Red Cross has arrived with their disaster relief truck. And so that means that there are some people in need. You can also see right now that firefighters, at least some of them, are done with their job for the time being because they're starting to dismantle some of the water hoses here while other water hoses are still being active inside. Last but not least, in between the last time we spoke to you, we saw one person leave in a life ambulance. That woman was wearing an oxygen mask, and it looks like she might have had something to do with the smoke inhalation. We don't know if there were other injuries for sure. We're going to stay on top of this story. Look for the very latest on KFOXTV.com and on KFOX Morning News. In fact, that decision came down so recently. You're going to hear it first here on KFOX News at 9. The decision is no temporary restraining order, so that means in less than 3 hours the ordinance will go into effect, and that includes the 6-foot rule. Very controversial. It means that strippers must stay at least this far away from their patrons. TxDOT says for them, priority one will be keeping I-10 open, and they will also be keeping a very close eye on the bridges and overpasses because those are the first to freeze.
They're putting everything into place. Turning the trucks on once again and testing all the equipment. It's the sounds of the season.
We're going to have 3 mounted, ready to go in case we get, snow and ice accumulation.
They don't have a set date or time to make these preparations. They get going when the weather reports say the borderland could get hammered with ice and snow.
And if we see that the temperature is dropping, we go ahead and start mounting all these spreaders on and be ready. You never know.
Well, maybe the most important piece of equipment, and is also the newest piece of equipment you won't find on top or in back. Instead, it's directly below.
To provide extra traction. When ice does come down, especially large amounts of ice, it provides a lot of traction that you normally wouldn't get with just a tire by itself.
No more taking the time out to put chains on the tires. This piece of equipment keeps these rigs safe on the road in an instant.
It'd take you probably 45 minutes. On this, it'll just take a flip of a finger and a switch, and they're on.
And these guys know how important it is to be ready when the weather pulls them into action.
Without it, basically, the whole city will stop. The whole state of Texas would stop.
Every snowstorm is different, but we're ready, regardless.
Now they also tell us if you see these TxDOT trucks on the road to just keep your distance, stay as far back as you possibly can. And if the weather gets really bad, they say just stay off the roads. Reporting live from Central El Paso, Daniel Novick, KFOX News at 9. Family and friends gathered yet again today at Biggs Army Airfield, waiting for their loved ones to return home. For specialist Daniel Mendez, his family isn't here, but some 1,600 miles away in Spokane, Washington.
He was in a couple of close calls. His vehicle got blown up once, and they got hit a few times.
Daniel's father, Gil Mendez, wishes he could be a part of the cheering crowd, but the cost of flying and the recent snow in Spokane kept him far away.
We're going to be really excited about having him home for Christmas, because we both missed this Christmas last year also.
The easiest way for people here to find their loved ones is through signs, so we decided to do the exact same thing. We made a sign for Specialist Mendez. The sign reads, Specialist Daniel Mendez, KFOX has a phone call for you. Finally, the plane landed and troops poured out one by one. Then Daniel Mendez showed up. Specialist Mendez. Daniel Novick with KFOX TV. How are you? I'm good. Welcome home. We took out the KFOX cell phone, and within a minute of Daniel stepping off the plane, his family was right there with him. Hey, Dad. What's going on? I'm home.
It was just a little too loud outside, so we continued the conversation inside.
Well, glad you're home.
Yeah, I'm glad to be home too. Feels good.
Daniel says he has waited for this day since he left, but for him, the journey is not over quite yet.
Yeah, it is a little bittersweet. But you know, I got maybe a little over a week before I get to go home back to Washington.
He says the contact with his family kept him going through the tough times.
There's some days where you just want to call your mom. You know, you just want to talk to your little brothers and your family. And sometimes you can't do that, so, you know, it agonizes a little bit.
Hopefully for now, the agonizing can come to an end.
Yeah.
Today they are a phone call away. Next week, they'll be within arm's reach.
Okay, we love you.
I love you too. I'll give you guys a call soon. Love you. Bye, guys.
We're just about a half block away from that intersection of 3rd and Miller, and this is the scene right now. You can see that there's a white car, and what witnesses are telling us is that white car was coming down the cross street. That's Miller, and behind it is an SUV that is flipped over on its top, and witnesses are saying that car was coming down 3rd Street, which is parallel to the shot that you're seeing right now. And what witnesses have told us is that they saw a younger boy that was out next to where that SUV was, and that it was a younger boy who has been killed. However, authorities have not confirmed the identity or the age of the person who was killed. Now, what witnesses are saying happened here is that there should be a stop sign where you're looking right now at the intersection of 3rd and Miller, but you can clearly see there is no stop sign there. Just across the street on the other side, however, there is a stop sign, and there are no stop signs on Miller Street. So, of course, it has not been confirmed with authorities at this point, but what a number of witnesses have told me so far is that what may be to blame for this crash is that a stop sign is not there. Now, directly behind me are about 25 to 30 people, most of them neighbors who live in the area, and then back over on Miller, there's another about 25 people. All have gathered here tonight, looking at the scene, looking at what is taking place right now. Most of them very quiet. We also saw a few people in tears, but it's a very somber scene out here right now. We're working to confirm everything that we have heard so far from witnesses, and as soon as we have new information, we will bring that to you. Reporting live in Anthony, New Mexico, Daniel Novick, KFOX News at 9.